This next video is going to be about some equipment that we're going to use to make the walks a little bit easier on us. So that leash that we're using to teach a dog what to do on a walk, where to be, and how fast they should move, that leash is the language that we're speaking to the dog. And what we attach the leash to is the translator to make sure that our dog understands the language that we're speaking. More likely than not, your dog did whatever they wanted to on a walk. They would sniff when they wanted to sniff, they would react when they wanted to react, and they would be walking with you, but not mentally be walking with you. So that's one thing that we're going to change. Now, changing the equipment, this equipment exists to make our lives easier. So that way the walk doesn't turn into a tug of war or require strength. If you were hooking up your dog to some kind of a harness or a flat collar, there is no magic equipment to make your dog walk nicely on a leash. But there are certain things to make it a lot easier on us. For instance, I, being the expert on dog training, I could teach your dog how to walk calmly on a leash using a harness. It would take a lot of repetitions, a lot more work, and would still set me up for an uphill battle, because when I try to give your dog input, it's not clear as to what I want. Those harnesses specifically are designed for pulling. Think of a sled dog at the Iditarod. The harnesses disperse the weight and the leash pressure that we apply to your dog evenly through their shoulders and chest and their back, so it truly disperses it in the strongest parts of our dog. And the same thing when we use a flat collar, whether it's leather or nylon or whatever that collar is made of, it is dull pressure, usually at the bottom of their neck. And listen to my voice as I push into my neck. You hear that my windpipe collapses, and all that pressure from the back of my neck is just pushing against that windpipe and can cause damage to the esophagus. I'm sure some of your dogs cough and wheeze on walks until they kind of wear themselves out. So what we're going to use with the majority of the dogs is a pinch collar. The only reason we would not use a pinch collar is if, based on size and temperament and age, we think that a slip collar would be more beneficial. But whether it's a pinch collar or a slip collar, these are designed to apply even pressure around the dog's neck, and it helps your dog interpret where I want them to go. So if I'm pulling to the right, guess what? Your dog can feel that. Same thing with left, forward, backward. They understand not only the pressure itself, not only does it make them more sensitive to that pressure, but they can feel where I want them to go through conditioned training. So you guys will get a chance to feel these collars, practice taking them off and putting them back on, and you'll see that these are not torture devices. These are not designed to inflict pain on our dog, but they are designed to have a purpose and help us speak clearly to our dog. The goal, again, in conjunction with the e-collar video, is that we don't have to rely on the prong collar in order for our dog to walk next to us or to listen to us. This is just a means to make our words a little bit more meaningful to our dog, and then be able, with less physical input, be able to make an impact on our dog's mental state when they're most excited and when we're in environments that we can control the least.